All right, let's try the problem set for Laird Company. If you haven't already, go ahead and look at that exercise that was posted so you can work along. All right, so in the last video, we saw the general outline that we're going to use for a bank reconciliation. So let's go ahead and put some data in there. All right, so the name of this particular company is Laird Company. We're preparing their bank reconciliation. Feel free to abbreviate there for bank recon. And it was for April 30th, 2020, a point in time. We said there are two sides to this bank reconciliation. Bank comes first, so bank balance. So we're going to go ahead and find the bank balance according to the bank statement. And that is, if we look at the data set information, go ahead and scan through, see if you can find what amount should go there. So if you read through the first paragraph, it says that the bank statement shows a balance of $15,907.45. Okay. All right, and then imagine again a little line running down the center of this report. Okay, we'll go ahead and compare that to our book balance. Because again, if they're the same, we don't have to prepare a reconciliation. But most of the time, they're different. The company's cash general ledger account shows a balance of $11,589.45. Alrighty, let's continue on. Let's go ahead and do our add sections. So we've got our balances, check, check. Deposits in transit, take a minute and review where do deposits in transit go? What side do they go on? If you have to, go back to your notes from the last video. Deposits in transit always go on the bank side. All right, so we will write deposits in transit. And we can just go ahead and put the total there, $2,201.40. Yay, done. Alrighty, after that, outstanding checks. Checks that have not cleared the bank. Again, they always go in the same place. Memorize it if you haven't already. Go back to the notes we did in the last video. Outstanding checks are always subtracted. Leave a little bit of space because you never know when we're going to have an error. Less outstanding checks. Outstanding checks, you can put the total, $5,904. If you wanted to list out all three checks, you could do that as well. Most of the softwares that are out there for you right now, like QuickBooks, you just check the box of which checks have not appeared. It would individually list all of them for you. Alrighty, errors. Let's come back to errors. As I said, those are the hardest piece of this puzzle. Let's go down to bank memorandum. We said it can either be a debit or a credit memorandum. If the bank gives you a credit memorandum, it's going to show up in your add section because the bank views your account as a liability. Credits increase the liability. Alrighty, so it looks like we have a credit memo for collection of a note. Collection of note. Go ahead and put the net amount, $1,035. We'll talk about all these individual pieces later. For now, I will detail them out here. 1,000 plus 50 minus 15 is how we get the 1,035. We're going to need that later. Alrighty, now under the less section, the debit memos, NSF check. That's a common item, and fees, common items. So $4.25 and 60 cents, and then $30 even. So why are we adding? Why are we subtracting? It has to do with, are these amounts in the original balance that we start with? Memos are issued, and oftentimes we don't get this information until the end of the month. Therefore, they're not included in our book balance because we had no knowledge of it. We didn't know the bank collected a note for us. We didn't know that they charged us a fee or that one of our customer checks that we deposited was no good. So all these figures are not in this balance. Once a collection of note does happen, right, that's going to increase our cash account. Once we have to take out this amount, and then once we record the fee, it brings down, which is why we're deducting. Okay, so we took care of all the bank memos. Now let's go back to Laird. We said those errors can happen anywhere, so we have to kind of understand the details a little bit more. So it says Laird wrote a check to the main supplier for $1,226, and the bank correctly paid this amount. But when we went to record it, we transposed a number and we recorded it at $1,262. So we took out too much from our cash account. So the proper treatment then is to add it back. So under the add section, it's obviously our error. It says the bank was correct, so we knew it was going to go on the book side. We just had to figure out was it going to go under add or less. Error for check number 443. And you can put the net amount, $36. All right, add this up. If we've done it right, it's going to balance. Add that up. I'll find the math for it. Gives you a chance to add it. Oh goodness, where did it go? Alrighty, we should get $12,204.85. Okay. Make sure you know how to calculate that. Make sure you have all the math figured out, and this is called your adjusted bank balance, and adjusted book balance. And we said they should be the same. Okay, take a minute, make sure you understand those steps, and then we'll go on to the next step, which is journalizing all of the reconciling items.